Hey, fellow gamers, it is your friendly neighborhood geeky manager here, and I want to do something a little bit different here in terms of the gaming what ifs, and I wanted to talk about the gaming fail. And I was just thinking about it downstairs, as I always do with all these videos, and I thought to myself, a good gaming fail, in my opinion, is the universal ammo in Dead Space 3. Now, to those that may not know what it is, in Dead Space 3, the people at Visceral Games decided to change up how weapons work as they wanted to introduce customizable and craftable weapons. And they knew it would have been very tricky to have like separate ammo loaded into the gun, I guess, because they wanted to streamline the whole experience. They wanted to get rid of the 4 weapon slots in favor of just being only 2 weapons, but you could put on your own underbarrel weapon of your own choosing. So you could basically have like a line gun mixed in with a force gun. A weird combo, I'd say, but alas. So their solution was to add in universal ammo, replacing the normal default ammos for the guns in the previous games. But I feel it is a flaw and a semi-problem to the game because of how unbalanced it is. I mean, where the hell do I begin? I suppose where we gotta start is how universal ammo works in this game. So universal ammo is the name that implies. Ooh, hello. It's ammo used for all the guns to help streamline the ammo usage between your primary and secondary functions of the gun itself. And you can only carry 20 stacks of universal ammo per inventory slot. And if I read the Wikipedia page correctly, because it's been a minute since I played Dead Space 3 here, I played it back on the PS3, long time ago. You pick up 4 units per kill, and apparently the website says that it's a lot easier to pick up ammo since you carry so little, and the fact that the ammo is used for both slots. So let's just say you have a pulse rifle and line gun combo, and you use up all the ammo in your pulse rifle and you reload. Thankfully, it's a smart system. It only reloads 4 ammo, I think. Or was it 5? I can't recall. One of those amounts for the pulse rifle. So effectively, you have 4 clips for an inventory slot. Or 5, however much the ammo is. But if you used up both the ammo in the line gun and the pulse rifle, it reloads both of them. So you'll lose 8 to 10 units of ammo. And, yeah. Crap. But that's where the flaw kind of reveals itself, due to a simple gameplay change regarding it. The amount reloaded depletes the amount of universal ammo, and, unfortunately, in this case, you decide to waste 1 round from, say, a pulse rifle, and you reload it, you're going to use 1 universal ammo regardless. While if you used, say, 100 rounds, you would have used 4 stacks of universal ammo. So it almost encourages you to try and use up the entire clip within the gun in order to make the most of every single stack of universal ammo. But that is where the flaw comes in. The flaw is it scales with your max clip capacity. Now, at first, it may not seem that bad if you're still using the traditional plasma cutter. But if you're using, say, the new scav rifle, or in this case, the most broken weapon, in my opinion, in terms of DLC for Dead Space 3, the Evangelionizer from the Witness the Truth pack, it's essentially a spruced up carbine, a semi-auto one. And it has the Unitologist symbols on it. It's a running theme with the Dead Space games where apparently they give you some sort of Unitology-themed DLC item or weapon. In Dead Space 1, it was the Unitologist suit that gave you the most fucking damage resistance. 60% out of the whole game. It was exclusive to the console, sadly. Dead Space 2, I think you got a Unitologist security suit. I could be mistaken, but you also get like a Unitologist contact beam. And now you have the Unitologist scaff armor in Dead Space 3 and the Evangelionizer. Let's just use the Evangelionizer, for example, because I know I used to play a couple of rounds in that game with that gun. If I'm right, it starts off at like 30 rounds. I could be wrong. But if you beat the game, you unlock like the super powerful circuits. The replacement for power nodes. And you could just literally load it up with +3 damage and +3 clip capacity. Ultimately netting you like maybe double or triple the damage, almost dismembering enemies in 1 or 2 shots on their limbs, but almost quadrupling the ammo. And if you do the math, unfortunately, you'll get anywhere between like 100 to 120 rounds out of that Evangelionizer. And if you're only using at most 4 to 5 stacks of universal ammo for each reload, if you fully deplete the gun, you're looking at about 500 plus rounds per stack. Which just means if you have 5 stacks of, 20 count universal ammo, you fundamentally have 2,500 rounds. You have unlimited ammunition. I think that's where that's like where the main flaw with universal ammo is. Like, yes, if your gun doesn't have that much clip capacity, you can burn through it. But if you fucking spec for damage and clip capacity, you're not only conserving ammo from the raw damage increase, so it's less rounds on the necromorphs, but now you have so much ammo inside the gun, a stack of ammo could last you practically a couple of chapters. Yes, it does offer the benefit of, okay, you can break down the rest of it for resources, but what's the point? You're better off just throwing in your safe, and you fundamentally have a shit ton of ammo. And, besides that fact, I mean, because you could have 2 weapons on the gun, if you use ammo for both of them, you could be using way more universal ammo than you're supposed to. But if you're an experienced Dead Space player, you know how to play the game, you know how to dismember them, you know how to maximize every round, you could just blitz through the whole game with just one gun, per usual in Dead Space 1 and 2 with the pulse rifle or plasma cutter. But that's the thing, like, the universal ammo is supposed to be a streamlined mechanic, and it does impose some challenges in and of itself. It's an ammo type that's shared across all guns. You lost 4 weapon slots in favor of 2, which means if you're still just using traditionally 1 weapon instead of a dual combo, you only have 2 weapons on you. There are those challenges, but overall, if you beat the game, or if you utilize the clip capacity upgrades, you just have nearly limitless ammunition. And normally I'm not one to complain, because, hey, unlimited ammo for the Evangelionizer. Hell yeah, I can kill necromorphs all day. But it just feels like they didn't fully balance it out. And the fact that you can have, like, 20 stacks of universal ammo for 1 slot, I feel that's a little bit too much. I feel they would either have to cut it down in terms of how much you gain, or cut the stacks down from 20 to 10, just to make it feel a little bit more balanced. Now, of course, I don't know how much ammo you might be getting on the higher difficulty levels. I'm a fucking normal pleb. But, yeah, I just want to talk about that little bit of a gameplay fail. I mean, to some, they may not see it as a fail, because, it could definitely benefit those that are, manage their ammo correctly. But, I mean, whenever you have, like, one of the most powerful weapons, or you have a good build, and you just solely spec it around clip and damage upgrades, more so if you decide to use the frames that may increase the ammo that much more, the damage by a little bit, you just fundamentally have like the most ammo efficient build ever. I mean, it doesn't help the simple fact, the enemies are a lot more bullet spongy and they don't flinch as much, which is another challenge in and of itself. But I feel it's like one of the gameplay fails of Dead Space 3 that I don't know if it ultimately killed the series, but I mean, we all know why Dead Space, kind of failed as a series after 3 is because, they wanted to make it more action-oriented. They shoved in those microtransactions down our throat, even though they were kind of optional, but you're kind of just like, I need those ration seals. I want those Mark V overclocked parts and those resources, which, side note, that's another broken part about Dead Space 3 was the ration seals and the, what were they? Were they the crates, the resource bundles? I don't know. But fundamentally, they were basically like loot boxes in a way, where you had 2 options. I think you had a normal resource pack and an ultra resource pack, and it would give you like various amounts of resources, and either the first one was a Mark V part and a 50% chance for another one, and the higher tier one, which was double the resources, it would give you 2 parts for a 50% chance of a third one. Spoilers, always go for the basic one, because ultimately, if you got lucky, you would get 4 Mark V parts, as opposed to potentially 2 or 3 for the same cost for the higher tier version. But the reason why those packs were broken was that, those resources gained from the packs, the semiconductors, the fluids, the transducers, all that shit, in addition to the Mark V parts, those were shared across all of your save files, new and old. And it was kind of similar to Dead Space 2 with the riot suit. I kind of didn't touch on this, but semi-spoiler for another video. There was a glitch in Dead Space 2 where you beat the game and you unlocked a particular security suit, and it was unlocked for all your playthroughs, new and old. So every time you even started a brand new game, you had that suit from the start. So you basically had a permanent 25 inventory space, 25 damage resistance, and a small buff to a particular weapon from the start. But anyway, Dead Space 3, same concept with those packs. You open up a couple of them, you may have like a couple thousand to tens of hundreds of thousands of every resource, and fundamentally that means when you get to the first store, you can fully level up your health. You can fully level up your kinesis, telekinesis, oxygen, damage resistance. You can just fully level those up. You can craft any weapon you want from the start. And if I'm right, you can even start upgrading the most powerful circuits from the start as well, because those are also unlocked for all your saves. So it's a lot more broken in Dead Space 3, and controversial take here. I think those microtransactions were a little bit less harmful, in a way that at least you kept those unlocks and items through subsequent new playthroughs. But in the case if you were playing like some other microtransactions filled game, you start off from the beginning, wherever it be a new save, I'd bet, or if you fully deleted your account and started anew, you lost everything. So at least that money, which, let's face it, none of us spent money on the fucking packs for Dead Space 3. We were probably smart enough to at least buy the boost for the scavenger bot. At least then, for 10 or 15 bucks, you managed to make that shit go a long way through some simple gameplay grind to get you unlimited resources for Isaac. Man, I'm fucking droning on. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up that small gameplay fail in regards to the universal ammo, and I guess to an extent the microtransactions in Dead Space 3, and how it just completely fucks the economy and gameplay balance in terms of fighting against the necromorphs. Ultimately, it does make you feel a lot more powerful, but if you abuse it in such a way, you're just basically cheating massively. Which, hey, if you enjoy it like I do, no harm, no foul. It's a single-player game. You're enjoying it. I mean, it's kind of like me and how I took advantage of a particular crouching glitch in Assassin's Creed Odyssey a couple years ago. And at first, I felt a little bit guilty of it, but then I started thinking about what Ubisoft is, and I'm like, no, don't regret one bit. I'm not going to spend thousands of hours trying to get 1,500 levels or pay for fucking XP boosters. But that's all I want to talk about. If you liked hearing me ramble about one small gameplay detail in Dead Space, like the video, leave a comment if you have any suggestions or criticisms or, feedback. And subscribe for more videos from GT Gaming Den. It is your nerdy manager signing off. Take care.